He pushed open the front door and froze. His wife was entwined with the neighbor on the couch. A smile on her face he had never seen before. Unread messages popped up. His longtime crush at work was waiting at a hotel. The kids were crying for piano lessons. His parents were calling about doctor appointments. And bills were stacked like mountains. His paycheck could not cover any of it. Energy drained, time swallowed, money never enough. Suddenly it hit him. If he didn't make his money work for him, the next 10 years of this triple overdraft life would completely consume him and his family. The most expensive lie in personal finance isn't that buying coffee will bankrupt you. It's the one people are proud of. That sounds mature, reasonable, even smart. I am doing my best, but this is just how life is. That sentence has probably been repeated at kitchen tables, sent in group chats, murmured on the drive home while watching rent climb. Groceries get more expensive, and paychecks shrink year after year. It sounds rational, it sounds honest. But if you look closer, it's the sentence quietly locking the door from the inside. Because once someone decides the game is over, their behavior changes before their bank account does. They stop trying, stop exploring options, stop asking one more question. Stop hunting for better interest rates, better skills, another income lever, or more useful habits. Not suddenly, not all at once. That's why so many hardworking people stall for years, while telling themselves they are being practical. We're trained to abstractly worship effort. Work hard, stay disciplined, be grateful. Listen closely to what people say when money is tight. Nobody can really get ahead now. It doesn't matter what I do, it's all unfair. There may be truth in these statements, but they also serve a purpose. They strip away leverage and turn a problem into a verdict. Financial loss rarely starts with a dramatic collapse. It begins with small withdrawals of effort that seem harmless. A resume not sent, an extra application not submitted. A follow-up email left in drafts because sending it feels awkward. Then the same logic spreads to money. Here's the first proof. Behavior changes start long before life actually breaks down. You can see it clearly. Someone misses a raise and treats it as a universal law. That promotions are all politics. Someone sends a few resumes with no responses and converts short-term rejection into permanent rules. Recruiters will never respond. Someone budgets for 2 months, slips up once, and concludes finally. Discipline doesn't work for me. The second proof is harsher. It shows up in the language people use about money. My salary is too low. I can't save anything. Inflation eats everything, why bother? There may be truth here, but it skips the only part that can change the outcome. Time, trade-offs, adjustments, strategy. The sentence stops where action should begin. This matters because once your mind labels a problem unwinnable, it doesn't just protect your emotions, it shuts down your search function. You hear the same structure outside of money. And that's how you know this isn't just a bad month or a mismanaged budget. All the good jobs are taken. It's all about who you know. Companies don't train anymore. In health, it runs in the family, or I'm too old to change now. In relationships, all the good ones are taken. Different topics, same internal checklist. External forces laid out clearly. Personal adaptation erased. Once the story becomes absolute, effort starts to seem irrational. Here's the part nobody likes to admit. Systems don't reward effort evenly. They reward ownership first, leverage second, and pure labor last. So when someone says they've worked harder than ever and still haven't made progress, it's not always a motivation issue, it's often a position issue. Look at the daily grind. Employees work overtime, reply to emails during dinner, pick up extra shifts, rewrite resumes, refresh job boards, but still feel like they're starting from zero every month. Meanwhile, rent goes up, companies cut hiring but protect profits, platforms raise fees, banks charge interest no matter how your week went. That's the invisible tension most people feel but can't name. A group surviving on effort alone. That's why just work harder is a misleading story. Effort can keep you afloat, even make you admirable. But if your output is swallowed by rent, debt, taxes, commute, childcare, and groceries that quietly reset your baseline, every few months, effort isn't compounding. It's being harvested in real time. Yes, two people can live in the same city, see the same headlines, and still not be playing the same financial. One is just trying to survive rising costs. The other owns some appreciating assets. One treats inflation as a monthly emergency. The other treats it as stronger cash flow, higher asset value, or better pricing power. One earns labor. Once you understand this, a lot of common advice starts to feel hollow. Tighten the budget, try harder, desire less. That doesn't mean effort is useless. It means effort without ownership is fragile. Without control over price, equity, assets, allocation, or scarce skills, effort gets ignored by the system. That's why some people interpret every sitback as proof that nothing works. They aren't imagining being squeezed, they are. Most people don't need another grand financial plan. They need a small interruption. Because the trap isn't just bad math. It's the sentence your brain automatically triggers when things go wrong. Bills arrive, markets dip, job applications vanish into the void, and your brain says the old line, "It's pointless, people like me can't succeed." Harmless, realistic, but it's not a conclusion. It's a command. It tells you to stop looking before you've truly run out of options. So deliberately make the correction boring. Over the next 30 days, whenever you catch yourself saying or thinking a dead-end sentence about money, work, or stability, don't debate it, psychoanalyze it, or think positive. Just grab your phone or the back of a receipt and rewrite the sentence into actionable language. Not that I am broke, but how much did I overspend this week? Not that I can't find a job, but my last application got no response. I need a different role, different contact path, or different skill signals. Not that investing is pointless, but I don't trust my current plan enough to automate even a small contribution. The rule is simple. Remove the verdict. Keep the facts, add the next step variable. It sounds trivial. That's why it works. You're not pretending to be confident. You're forcing your brain to separate conditions from identity, events from fate. One person hears layoff news and shuts down. Another hears the same news and asks one boring question. What am I over-relying on right now? One income source, one employer, one skill? This question doesn't solve everything, but it restarts action. Action beats emotion. People who say I failed often stop there. People who say this version failed are already moving on. Think operationally when a gap appears. Don't ask why this is pointless. Ask what's reduced, what remains. Smaller shifts, different days, different accounts, fewer points of failure. The people who end up with breathing room aren't the most ambitious. They're the ones who make the plan harder to abandon, easier to continue. This is the compounding most people miss. Not money itself, but maintaining intact behavior under pressure. So no, this isn't a promise of escape velocity. It's a promise of optionality. More space, more time, fewer desperate choices,